Okay, we are back online. We are doing section C now. Okay, so section C, gonna be a little fun. We're gonna do a waterfall on the bottom and a couple of flaps. Let's see what we want to do. Okay. So this is the bottom part. Let's put this on the side for now. What do we have? I think it's this one and this one. All right. So again, we have C1. Again, it's the base, and they're all the bases, all the ones are the same size, 10 and 5/8, double scored by 8, and the C1 will be with the flap on the top. So let's put our tape on C1. And oh, moved a little bit. It's okay. We'll fix it. Let me take this out and I'll put another piece in instead. Sorry, I moved it. Okay. All right. Okay. So for C, this is going to be on the top like that because it's going to be bent like this. Double scored. Excellent. All right. Now I have two sections, one top flap and one bottom flap. Then I'm going to put one on the top, one on the bottom. Okay, this is 5.5 by 8.5. 5.5 by 8.5. And it's double scored at 1/4 inch, which means it's scored at 1/2 inch and 3/4. So that I'm going to have a 1/4 inch return here. Okay. And that will be my C2. Okay, so C2 is a top flap. And we said 8.5 by 5.5. Double score at 1/4 inch by 5.5. Excellent. So this will be on the top. Let's put this in the middle of the top part. Remember, the top is where I have the tape, the flap. Just turning it around because it's easier for me to put this when it's closer to me. I'm checking out that halfway point and measuring half here. Here we go. So it's about 1.5 inches from each side. Here we go. And then I have another one that is also 5.5 by 8.5, but this one is only scored at 1/2 inch and at 5/8. So it has a 1/8 of an inch return, not a 1/4 of an inch return. And that's C3. C3 will be the bottom flap. Okay, 8.5. Double score 1/8 of an inch by 5.5. Okay. And this will be on the bottom. And put this on the grid lines. Oh, okay. I made a little boo-boo. I think I left this one C1 at 8.5, and I should have cut it to 8. So I'm going to trim the sides. Let me just do it now. Okay. I'm just going to cut a 1/4 inch from each side. Quarter inch here. There we go. Sorry, I left it at 8.5 instead of it being 8. Now it's 8 by 10 5/8. Okay, now it's good. Okay. All right, so bottom flap, top flap. I'm gonna have magnets here, so I won't forget. I'm just gonna put the magnet here now. And as usual, if I need to adjust it later, I'll just gonna adjust it later. I'll put a thicker one on the top this time. That's the heavier magnet, and then I'm gonna put the lighter one on the bottom. Okay, and this one. Well, okay, here we go. All right, so the top part, this one, I wanted to have a focal image, and I chose this one. So this one is cut at 5 inches by 7 3/4. Okay, so 5 inches by 7 3/4 will go on C2. Okay, and go right here. Okay. I have those two small pieces that I cut at a 1/4 inch, and I'm going to put those on both sides here. Okay, so these are 1/4 inch by 7 3/4. Did not put enough glue, sorry. I see that I didn't put enough, or I have too much. Okay. So that's the top one. The bottom one, I'm going to have a flat pocket like that over here. Put it this way. I don't know if it goes this way or this way. I don't remember. And a flat pocket, I'm going to put right here, like that. Okay, so this flat pocket is 2 inches by 7 3/4. Okay, flat pocket C4 is 2 by 7 3/4, and that goes over C3. So I have two pieces for that. I have one at 1 3/4 by 7.5. And the other one, okay. And I don't know where I'm going to ruler it. Oh, here it is. Okay, and the other one is 3 3/8. 3 3/8 by 7.5. Okay, so this goes over the C4. Okay, and here's a little pocket. Okay, now for the back side of those top and bottom flaps, I just cut out some white paper and I'm going to put them like that to indicate that you can put 2 photos here. So they are 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and they're going to be on the back. It's 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and we have 4 of them. And so we're going to put 2 on the back of C2 and 2 at the back of C3. All right. Okay, that's one. And that's 2. And I'm turning it around and I'm going to put 2 over here. Okay. Okay. Now, let's clear this from here. And the next. Okay. So next I have another top flap. No, sorry. That's not it. We have a side flap. Okay. So next up, C5. We have a right flap. We're doing the right order. Let me see. This is C over here. I think we're going to do this as our right flap. Yes, C is a right flap, C5. And C5 is 8.5 by 10 and double scored. 8.5 by 10. And it is double scored on the 8.5-inch side. Okay. And I'm going to put this right here on the right side. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put a magnet here so that I will not forget. No, actually we don't need the magnet here because I have this one as the closure. Right? And this one closes it pretty good. I could, but I don't know if I should. And just do it that way. Okay? Okay. So over here, what I prepared are diagonal pockets. So we have a whole slew of them. So I took this piece and it's 8.5 by 10. I'm going to put it here so that you can see it. It's 8.5 by 10. And I marked over here, see where the score line starts over here. I marked the dot. And about 1.5 inches from the top, from here to here, I cut it in a diagonal. Okay, so there's a 1/2 inch here that I didn't touch. I start from here to 1.5 inch down and I cut it. Okay. Then I took another one. Okay, and this time I cut it from here to here. So it's also 8.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.5 here on the left. Okay. And I again from the 8.5, I took 1.5 inches down. So if I put it up here to here, you see it's 1.5 inches down here. So I did the same thing, 1.5 inches in a diagonal. And it's double scored now on the left. So this was double scored on the right. This is double scored on the left. And again, from corner to here, it's 1.5 inches. So what happened is from here to here, you got 3 inches. See? From here to here, you have 3 inches. Then I took another one. Okay, and this one, again, it's 8.5 inches. And this time it's 7. I took 1/2 inch here and I cut it 3 inches down. Not 1.5, 3 inches down. So you have whole 3 inches out here. It's not the 3. I don't know if that's the 3. I think that's the 3. That's the 3 inches. See, it starts like that. And I cut it right here. And put it on the grid so you can see it again. Okay. Again, a 1/2 inch here I left because this is where the score line goes. The double score here. So I counted 3 inches and I took it all the way down to here, which is 1/2 inch from the edge, and I cut it. That's the piece. And this one now is scored on the right. It will be here. So you see how you get a diagonal like that? Let me see if I can hit the light. It's going to be a diagonal like this and a diagonal like that. And then I have this one. This one is only 8. It's not 8.5 because I'm not going to have any score lines that I'm going to fold. It's going to be flat pocket. So it's 8 inches by 4. And this time I cut in a diagonal to 1 inch from the left side. So it's 1 inch here. Okay. And it will go all the way here where these meets all the way down. Okay. Then I have this piece that I have left over that is 3 inches and goes all the way down that I cut from the piece I showed you. And that will go right over here again over the last piece, but it's going to have the same direction of the folding line. See? We'll have the same direction here and here. Have the same direction. Okay, so that is my wackadoodle kind of pockets. Okay. So let's put it together. All right, so I'm going to take the first one. Okay. And the first one is that 10 by 8.5. And the 8.5 is double scored. Okay. And it's cut in a diagonal to 1.5. Cut at 1.5. Okay. So let's first fold it. Okay. And I'm going to put it on the left side of the flap here. All right. Now we're going to take the second one. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to fold it at the double score line. And we're going to put it on the right. Here we go. We're going to take the third one, fold it, and we're going to put it on the left. We're going to take this flat pocket and put it over here right on top. I think I will need to cut it just a smidgen because it goes over a little bit. So I'm going to glue 3 sides, and the diagonal one I'm going to leave it open. And this one as well. Over here, and I'm probably going to have to trim that little edge there too. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I took one page and I cut it in triangles to match. Okay, so let me show you. That's the one on the bottom. And then we have this. And then I have this. And this. These are my triangles. See, it's one picture that I cut in triangles to fit into these pieces here. Okay, now I'm going to just put them here. That's one. This one will go here. This goes here. Beautiful. Okay. Now this will go here. Right there. And this will go here. Okay. This I'm going to put there. And the last one I'm going to put there. Okay. So what I have is a couple of flat pockets there. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Flat pocket here. And a flat pocket here. But then this thing just opens like that, like that, like that. Okay, and then it will close like that. Okay. So what are we doing inside here? I think the whole thing needs like a ribbon to close it. Yeah, maybe we will add a ribbon that will just tie everything together. Or just, we can just leave it like that. Okay, now what to do here? I'm just going to add this here. And I'm gonna have that here. Have that like that, or this here like that. Or the back, I don't know, over here or here. It's kind of good. Now I plan on doing waterfall, but I don't know if the waterfall might be a little too much here. All right, let's first put this here. Okay, so this is 7 3/4 by 10 3/4 by 9 3/4. Okay, and this one is 2 by 7 1/4. Okay. All right, let's do this. This part here, I'm going to put a waterfall, and I'm going to put the waterfall on the right, and I'm going to put a pocket here. Okay, so for the waterfall, I cut um, one, one, two, three, four, five, 6 equal pieces. Okay, and they are 4 1/4 by 6 5/8. 6 3/4. Sorry, 4 1/4 by 6 3/4. So 6 of them that are the same, and then they're single scored at a 1/2 inch. And I already went ahead and put a 6x4 piece of white cardstock on the back of each one of them. Okay. Now the same as the white, I have prepared 6 pieces that are 6x4, and those will go on the front portion. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is just really one sheet of paper that I've cut into 6 pieces. Okay. So I think this is it, like that. Not really sure. Maybe here. Maybe here. But this is like one piece that I cut to 6 pieces. One sheet that I cut to 6 pieces that are 6x4. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to alternate. I'm going to put them on top. Okay. 3, 4, 5, 6. And now this is going to be my background. Okay. So I want to cut 3 inches from here to here. I think 3 inches is what I need, right? Half, 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 half. And just about. So this piece is 9 3/4 by 5. I'm going to have a 1/4 inch here and about 3/8 of an inch here that I slit. And now I'm going to count. Let's do 3 1/8. So I counted 3 1/8. There's a 1/4 inch from here to here, 3/8 of an inch from here to here. Took this out. And this should be enough for my 4 1/4 width here. Okay. This will be 1, 2, 4. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. Take the top one. Let me just mark where I want it to be. I want it to be about here. Okay, you know what I want to do? I'm going to put this down first. I usually don't do it that way, but I think I'm going to try to do it this way this time. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some glue in case I need to move it a little bit. Okay. It's a little tricky. I don't know if it's 100% straight. Okay. I think this is okay. Okay. I'm going to take the top one and put it right there. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to cut some pieces from here. Our 1/2 inch. One, two, three. Okay, so I have some that I took from here that are 1/2 inch, and I can just put them like that. Okay. Okay. Take the second one. And yeah. I don't know why it's like crooked. This right? Okay. Okay. Third one. Make sure it's straight. Okay. I'm bending it down just to make sure that I'm not putting it over the fold. Okay. Okay. Nice and straight. Okay. Sure it's straight. Okay. And last one. So last one, I did not glue it all the way here. So I still have a little bit of an opening there that I can tuck this thing in. Okay, but let's see what happens. I'll tuck it in a little bit, just in case I need to. I'm not sure I need to, but just in case. Okay. Okay. There we go. And that's the one that's a little over from the 1/2 inch. And it covers this very nicely. Okay. One. And here's my waterfall. Okay, so now I have a pocket that I'm going to put here like that. And this pocket is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is 11 by 3 3/4. Okay, and it's scored over here on each side, and once on the bottom along the 3 3/4 side. Okay, and I'm going to put this pocket right over here like that. Okay. Excellent. So I have this piece, and this is 6 3/4 by 3 that will go here on the top part. And then I have another small pocket. So this one is 4 1/8 by 4 1/4. Or 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. You can say it's 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, and I scored it on 3 sides. So because it's scored twice on one side, I have it 3 1/4 here and then 3 3/4 here. Okay, and we're going to put this right over the bottom part of the pocket right there. Okay. All right, and I cut a piece of solid cardstock to go right here in the center. So this one is 3 1/2 by 3, and it'll go right there. And I cut the corners, I rounded the corners here. Put it right there. And it will fit this lovely cutout like that. So I also rounded the corners of the cutout. And I'm going to leave just a smidgen from the top, a smidgen from the bottom, and about 1/4 inch from each side. Okay. And I have a pocket here. Okay, so this is some of my photo mats that I added and I cut out. And so we can stick it like this. And this one we can put over here like that. Okay. So I have some strips that I cut and these two things. All right, so this is a photo mat. It's 3 by 4 3/4. And if you want, on a photo mat, you can also trim the corners and it will preserve the edges a little better. Like that. That's a lovely one. You can slide it right in here like that. Okay, and we can do the same thing with these two. So these photo mats are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 and 5/8 by 4 1/4. I think I just took these as leftovers that I had. So you can just adjust the size you want. Okay. Okay. And these are our photo mats. And if I put them like that, it'll keep everything closed. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to add something to tie it. I don't know if it'll stay strong like that. What I do want to do is I want to punch it down a little bit. Okay. And just flattening it out a little bit. Okay. Now, what are we going to do here? And here. here. Okay, so we have one of these. It's also kind of fun. Okay. So let's see what we're doing here. So this is a full size that we can cover. Ooh. Okay, so basically we'll do the same thing as this. We have 8 by 10 and we'll take 1.5 off here. This one. Let's mark 1.5. And cut from the 1.5 here to the corner like that. Okay. All right, now I think we need to trim a 1/4 inch on each side. Okay. And same exact thing on the other side. So 7 3/4 by 9 3/4. And this time I'm doing the 1.5 on the other side, which is over here. Okay, so we have the high side here and the low side here. Okay. Okay, now we need to more 8 by 8. Right? Let's see. Yep. I can do this, or this, or this. Okay. This could be okay. This could be okay. It'll be interesting. Okay, let's mark 1.5 inches here on the bottom. All right, and let's do I have 8 inches here? No. Okay. It's 8 by 7 3/4. I'm going to mark the 8.5 now on the 1.5 on top now. 1.5 inches, and we'll go from 1.5 to the corner. Okay. Oh, this one I forgot to take 1/4 inch here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is done, and now I need to do these two. How much is this? This is going to be 6.5. Okay. Trying to think what I want to do. And 7 3/4 is here by 6.5. And here I need to cut 3 inches. So you want to do this, or you want to do the black? Let's mark 3 inches here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna improvise here because I don't want to waste paper. So I'm just gonna take this piece, and it's not quite 6.5 inches, and I'm gonna add a little piece to it. Question is where I want to add it. I think I'll add it to the top. I'm going to add it here. Okay, so I'm gonna just attach these together. Okay, and 6.5 inches is here, and I need 3 inches down. I'm just measuring where my 3 inches are, and it's right here. Okay. Okay, so I have this little piece that I added right there. And it'll fit right there perfectly. These two right there. Okay, let's put this away. And I'll put these away. Okay, and now what I have to do is I have to ink it and put the tape down and put it over. Okay. Okay. And this one. And last two, this one and this one, will go here. Then. Okay. Pretty. Okay, I'm going to get the ribbon. I think I'll do black. Okay, so it's about 18 inches each one. I'm gonna do it like this or like this. I think I might want to do it like this. Okay. Go. Pretty. Okay. We take this, we open it up. Like this, like this. These two. Waterfalls. Well, Put a mat here. How pretty. Okay. Section is done. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.